In the beginning, let's pretend Lord Enki managed to keep it secret that he had ignited our bodies with the fire of the goddess. Lord Enlil and King Anu didn't know. If so, it's very hard to imagine that Enki would think he could remain keeping it a secret, withholding the information from his Syrian brothers. Yes, it's hard to imagine, because it never happened this way. Here is where we need to stop and reflect. Many authors have tried to glance over this, knowing it doesn't make sense, but didn't have an answer to why Enlil cast Enki's new creation out of Edin. Most researchers and authors say that when Enlil found out that Enki had given some humans the fruits from the trees of knowledge and life, he got furious and threw his creation out of the garden, and Enki welcomed it, because he could continue his experiment without interference. So now, let's think about it on an even deeper level. Would Enlil first be furious and then let Enki continue the experiment by himself, knowing that in a few hundred years, Lord Enki's new human, inhabiting the fire, would multiply thousandfold and become the dominant species on Earth? This having as a consequence that all power would go to Enki, who was the one in charge of the fire-ignited new humans. We can all agree to that Enlil had a bad temper, but we wouldn't necessarily agree to that he was stupid. And he wasn't. Far from it. Enki may have been even smarter, he was the scientist, he was the genius, but none of them was less than brilliant. No, dear readers, Enki and Enlil worked together already from the beginning and continued doing so. The chain of events I have given the reader in these papers, from when Enki first descended to a destroyed Terra until he created Project Elohim and Erectus, is accurate. Except I did not let the reader understand the intentions behind the actions that were taken until now, so you had the chance to look at this whole scenario from different angles, just like I had to do. The first undeveloped humans were created merely to become slave workers in the mines and on the plantations, and they did not inhabit the fire. Hence, Enki didn't care for them, and didn't bother with what his brother did with them. I have a hard time imagining that he was even upset over what he saw his brother do with the slaves. It was all a part of an agreement. The goal was to create a species who inhabited the fire of the mother goddess. That was the real experiment, and Enlil and King Anu were in on it from the beginning. There were no secrets. Instead, in the Garden of Eden, when Lord Enki had managed to create the enhanced human, using the existent Homo neanderthalensis as a base, and transported them to the Garden of Eden, Enlil was thrilled. He and his brother did not fight, they celebrated, probably for days, as the gods were known to do. It was then decided that Enlil kept the earlier versions of the experiment in the mines and on the plantations, while Enki could take his new creation out of Eden and spread them out over the world after have taught them esoteric knowledge and the religion of the mother goddess. But only to those who were pure, whose bloodlines were kept clean, the chosen ones, who were the most intelligent and could be interbred to enhance their psychic abilities. They became the ones who were allowed to eat from the tree of knowledge and the tree of life. They were the ones whose lifespans were increased, while the rest did not live nearly as long. They were the ones who were allowed to drink the blood of the goddess, the life force which ran through the veins of their fellow man. This prolonged their lives so they could live sometimes for thousands of years, but they could not eat the best fruits of the tree of life, because neither Enki, nor Enlil, wanted them to become like the gods. The rest of the enhanced humans, whom they let breed as they wished, were not as fortunate. Their lifespan was much shorter. But what then is true in the Bible story? Didn't Satan, Enki, tempt Adam and Eve to eat from the fruits? And didn't this infuriate God, Enlil? Yes, symbolically that happened. The tree of knowledge has a lot to do with sexuality, but it was not the fact that the humans had eaten from that fruit, gone from asexual to sexual, which infuriated Enlil. It was the fact that the chosen one started breeding with the lesser humans, as the gods saw them, although they knew that this was forbidden, because it would dilute the divine blood which ran through the veins of the new humans. This was the reason why the chosen ones were thrown out from Eden, to separate the species from each other, and to breed an elite. So, Satan took his people out of Eden and continued to educate them, some more than others, and started the secret societies, all with Enlil's consent. The religion of the mother goddess was very important in this process, as we shall see.